Hi and hello, my name is Ro, and as you can see, my voice is not entirely lining up with my lips during this video. That's because throughout the entire roughly 11-12 minute video, my mic was not on for the entire time. But what I'm trying to get at in this first bit is basically I forgot to do my 100 squats yesterday. So in this video, I'm going to do 200 squats. And coming from future Owen, looking at past Owen here, I did not know how this would treat me. I suffered greatly at the end of this, but it's for a good cause because I'm trying to raise 150. I was going to say £150,000. £150 for Cancer Research UK. What's my cause? I'm basically trying to raise awareness about the standards of getting cancer treatment, getting cancer tested in transgender and LGBTQ people. I say LGBTQ and transgender people separately because I'm more so focusing on transgender people because I am transgender, and obviously that would be something that I care very much about. So I'm going to start off with a few statistics. I'm going to start saying numbers. Don't be scared, it's fine. To start off with the trans statistics, so that everyone that falls under the transgender umbrella, that basically means gender non-conforming people, gender non-binary people, gender fluid people, anyone that doesn't assign with the gender that they were assigned at birth, basically. So, my sources here are mostly from Stonewall UK. I also take some statistics from Cancer Research UK, PubMed, the NHS website as well, I don't know if I've mentioned that, and also an article by the Harvard Gazette. But let me just start off by saying that 70% of transgender patients who have gone through testing, gone through treatment, have reported transphobia from doctors and from people who are meant to be professionals doing this. 45% of trans people said that their GP or doctor did not understand their unique transgender needs. By that I don't mean that all transgender people have very specific transgender people needs. I mean that they didn't understand what these people needed specifically, what reassurance they needed, what help psychologically they might need, because this can be quite a humiliating process for a transgender person, especially if they're undergoing a sexual cancer. Which brings me on to my next point, that 14% of transgender people have avoided getting tested or getting treatment for their cancer due to fear. They've avoided being in the hospital, getting hospital care, due to fear of dysphoria or humiliation, which is a lot of reasons why. I don't know what statistic I'm reading out there. I know I'm at this point I've just done 64 push-ups and I was so tired and I just needed a break, so I think at this point I'm asking for a break, but I'm gonna keep going. Because say I have ovaries, I have a cervix that would need to get screened, I have mammary glands, but chances are I'm going to be the only man in that room getting tested, and I'm going to need to get tested so I know that I can be safe. But that is a majority only woman space. I might be making those women in that room feel uncomfortable because why would a man be there? And for a lot of trans men, that would make them feel incredibly uncomfortable. They'd be really unhappy being perceived as a woman in this sense. And a lot of transgender people do face misgendering and dead naming within this space, because even if we are legally announced our gender and our name, these doctors may not necessarily be the nicest people and, respect that. Or they might not understand that, and they might go by different pronouns for the sake of, I don't know, this screening? I don't know. But I suppose that's what I have to say about what it's like, really, being transgender, going into the world of cancer, because I do not have any experience doing this, but I know that a lot of my brothers and sisters and others may have gone through this, and it would have been really, really disheartening. But for LGBTQ people in general, we are met with 13% of people who have said that they've faced unequal treatment in hospitals. I mean, there was this transgender woman in care, not necessarily for cancer, I'm just bringing this up for a story, who was denied healthcare by her doctor, and then when she got fired, she was backed up by J.K. Rowling, and J.K. Rowling started a fundraiser for her, I think, which is insane, but this is the kind of thing that people have to deal with when they're going through this kind of treatment. Like, 23% of LGBTQ plus patients have said that they've witnessed negative and discriminatory remarks made towards them or around them about LGBTQ people, especially patients in the hospital. 25% have said that they have experienced inappropriate curiosity, and that number is boosted up to 48% for transgender people. And what I mean by inappropriate curiosity is just not important questions. It's uncomfortable questions about, have you had the surgery yet? Would you want the surgery? So, what's your genitalia like? What, all these questions you would expect a weird middle-aged man to ask you. And I'm not just going to talk about transgender people and LGBTQ people, I also want to talk about women in general. Because women in general, this goes for transgender women as well, because trans misogyny does exist, it exists for me as well, that women are less likely to receive pain medications. They are less likely to be taken seriously, because the gender pain gap is a real thing, and it can be really dangerous when you put it in a cancer setting. Because if you go to your doctor as a woman and you're like, my ovaries really hurt, if you get a male doctor, probably the first thing he's going to ask is, are you pregnant or are you on your period? And maybe to a lot of men, to a lot of uninformed people, that would seem like, oh, well, maybe that's the question to ask. But the thing is, they're just ignoring these issues. They're ignoring the further pains, the further issues that might happen, because maybe it's not a period, maybe it's ovarian cancer, maybe she's got a cyst. There was a case of a 34-year-old woman who was a breast cancer patient, and during COVID, she ended up getting COVID, and she went to her hospital with stroke-like symptoms. She was shaking, she couldn't stop shaking, but the doctor threw her away because he said it was just anxiety, when she was biting her hand with pain. I'm saying with all this that people like us get ignored, or we get discriminated against in these spaces, and it can make it scared to ask for help. And I feel like I would like more cancer research to be done on how to make these spaces more accessible, how to make them more comfortable for transgender people, for gender non-conforming people, for LGBTQ people in general, and for women especially, because they have been let down so much with, like, the medical system in general. And with the money that I'm hoping to raise, I hope that it goes towards some of this. I don't know if you can see right now, but can you see how red my face is? because I was seriously burning at this point. I was sweating bad. I was not okay. I am doing proper form, by the way. You just can't see below my knees. And maybe that's for a good thing. I'm just gonna cut it here. Fast forward until I finish, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed.